Are you ready for the most morgasmic experience of your life? Hosanna! Hosanna!
Be the God of the Most High. It's you know what, they're acting like it's some new revelatory, like revolutionary thing, but I have done this before.
I know. Everyone's so excited about it.
I did it before. I can't remember what it was.
At the temple?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've done it. And it's so dumb. And
yeah.
if you're on the outside looking in, it appears so cultish.
Yeah. Hi, Meeple, Mormon Enlightenment people. We love you guys. Hope you are feeling okay at this beautiful general conference weekend. Last night, Sean and I were on a little walk, and I'm sitting here like venting all these feelings that I'm having and emotions just because I've, you know, briefly got on social media and I see what people are posting, and so I was explaining all these things that I was being triggered by, and like by the end of our walk, I was like, I'm like, I think you were just like, oh, is it it's general conference weekend? I'm like, that's what I've been talking about this whole time.
I didn't
but
know.
I was actually jealous that you didn't even know that it was general conference weekend, because you're just living your life and feeling this bliss, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know it was conference weekend. But on our way back from our walk, we walked past a neighbor and they had the conference blasting, and I was just about to puke.
Yeah, Crystal like got way triggered, and she like plugged her ears and
like
started
ran,
like going and ran away. I thought it was so cute and funny.
I can't watch it. I know some people like post-Mormons can watch it and they're curious to know what the new revelation is, but I just can't. I can't do it. At least not right now. It's just a little bit too triggering for me.
Mm-hmm. What is the latest and greatest announcement? I don't
Nothing.
I think that's what I did get online last night, and I looked at everybody's posts about General Conference, and then I also read this morning. I was just kind of trying to get, so I woke up early this morning and I just got online and was trying to find out what's new, what's great, you know, and I got the impression that even a lot of Mormons are kind of like disappointed, let down, because they thought that something revolutionary was going to happen, because President Nelson had said, get ready for something like you've never seen before. And now everyone was like, was it the damn Hosanna shout? Like, what was
that? Was it?
Like, what were we supposed to be ready for?
Yeah.
Thought it was funny how President Nelson, you know, basically said that, you know, I didn't know, you know, I didn't know that we were
Little
gonna.
did I know
Yeah.
that we would be going through this pandemic.
Yeah, we're all kind of thinking
It's
like, shouldn't he know? If anybody should know, it'd be him. Aren't prophets supposed to like forewarn people of such things?
Yeah, words prophets should not say. Little did I know.
So apparently this general conference has not been very morgasmic.
Maybe it's because Moroni is not very horny right now.
Oh dear. That reminds me of what happened in the pool. That was funny.
What? Oh, that. Oh, I thought you were talking about something else. Yeah,
No,
last night.
So my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell it, but go ahead.
Go.
No, you go right ahead.
No, we were in the pool. We were in the hot tub last night. Your parents came by to say hi, and yeah, finish.
No, you go ahead.
I don't remember.
You're doing
how
such a
it
good
went.
job of it.
I don't even remember how it
Well,
went.
we were just making fun of, we were talking about building a house on this property that we own, and we were kind of making fun of a guy that is like way fake Mormon and annoying. And we were like, well, we should just build a house on it. And I said, we should build something like really annoying towards them. And that way they'll have to look at it every day. It'd be funny. And I was like, let's build a Mormon steeple on the home. And then Crystal's like, yes, and we'll put Moroni on the top without his trumpet. And my mom, it was so funny because my dad does this thing whenever we do this to him. He does this thing where he kind of just like ducks his head and like acts like he's distracted. But my mom started laughing out loud, and she was trying so hard not to laugh. Because she didn't want my dad to see her thinking that was funny, but
Yeah.
she couldn't stop laughing. It was funny.
I just love how Sean so freely does all these little digs with his parents, and they just let him do it. He just says these comments and stuff, and I just laugh so hard because they just like don't know what to say, and they just sit there.
That's funny.
It's like awkward silence from them, but I'm just like busting up laughing.
You guys, I hope that I wanted to say I hope that everybody's hanging in there with the whole coronavirus and the social distancing. It's been far worse than I ever could have imagined. The virus and the the people that have been hurt by it, and I didn't know it would be like that. I've just heard the media cry wolf so many times, and so I thought it was just going to be another one of those things that kind of blows over. But it's certainly been more like a once every 100 years kind of thing. Like it's crazy. So I hope everybody's well. The best thing I saw recently that kind of made me feel good was my friend Hector posted a picture of him holding his dog, and he said he was snuggling his dog, and he said, "This dog is always happy. It doesn't sense that there is a crisis. The dog is always content. The dog is always eager and ready and willing to live and to enjoy life, and quarantined or not."
Yeah.
And so I just thought, wow, that's cool. What
Yeah.
cool perspective that is. We can really learn from animal life.
Yeah. And they're not concerned about General Conference and what Mormons are saying. And so if you find yourself being triggered this weekend, we just want to remind you that if you can just be like Sean and just don't even know that it's going on, then you'll be feeling a lot more peaceful. And that was where
I had a down day with the coronavirus. I had a down day because my daughter wanted to hang out with more friends, and I'm starting to realize that we all have to do our part even more so, and it's hard when you have children because your children want to be with their friends. So I think we're all in this together, and we're all getting overwhelmed and stressed at times. I was just thinking about if I was going into conference, Crystal, I would be, if I was active, like through my 20s, early 30s, I know I would have been so excited for conference. I would have been saying to myself, like, they're going to tell us something. They're going to give us some special secret sauce that's going to make this better.
Yeah.
And Mormons are going to get through this way better than everyone else because we're better than everyone else.
And the righteous are preserved. They always say that. The righteous will be preserved.
Anyway, I would have gone into conference hoping and I would have been excited and anticipating some kind of special guidance and special answers and special foresight,
Yeah.
And I think I would have been like everybody else. I would have been kind of like, well, it's good advice, and maybe we're not ready for the really good stuff.
Yeah.
We're not
She's
ready.
not ready yet.
But I think deep down I would have been disappointed that they're just saying the same stuff they've always said. Like it's always the same stuff.
Yeah.
And how people find meaning from that, I don't know, but I think they find meaning from it because they're so desperate to demonstrate that they find meaning from it. To be seen as I'm spiritual, to be seen as I look forward every 6 months to this spiritual feast. I hate how they talk. I hate how the men talk in that whispery tone. I hate how the women talk. I hate so much about it and always did. It disgusts me.
Yeah.
And so I know it's triggering when you see General Conference. I'm not triggered this time, but and even I've read everything now that's Morgan put out a nice update about everything. I don't feel triggered at all. But I'm going to take that back. I was triggered by one thing.
Oh.
They announced that the church has grown.
Oh, they did?
They announced 16.5 million members, and they announced that the church grew by like 250,000 members. And I have to tell you how triggering that is for me. So one thing did trigger me. Any church that will lay claim to those members. Now listen, they're claiming on my mission, I baptized so many people, but so many, almost all of them fell out like right after. Mm-hmm. They're claiming all those. They're claiming people that like came to church once and then just quit. Mm-hmm. They're claiming everybody, and it infuriates me. It is so deceptive, and I think if any active church members should look at that as a sign that these guys are unethical. They should only really claim people who have temple recommends and pay tithing. That's my opinion. Claim those and tell us how many members you have. Mm-hmm. And it's despicable.
I wonder if they still even claim people like us who have had our names removed.
Well, they could. That's the thing about that kind of a private institution. They can do whatever they want, mm-hmm. and it's really unethical. So like Isogenics that we work with, they're conservative. Like, they do not count people as members if they stop ordering for a certain period of time. They're like, they don't lay claim to them, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's deceptive and it's wrong. So, but, the Mormon Church does that, and it's really, really bad, and it's really wrong, and it really infuriates me. It was the first year in 6 years where the amount of children being baptized was under 100,000 people, I think it said. This is a news article. Mm. So it was the first year that there was under 100,000 baptisms, which is interesting. But I'm going to tell you where the growth is. When they claim 250,000 members, a lot of that's coming from Africa. And you've seen President Nielsen before all this came that he'd be visiting Africa. It's an interesting thing because they're going after where there's least resistance and where people don't have internet, people can't research, and they're just doing it to...
And that are probably more desperate for
mm-hmm.
health and peace and...
Yeah, on my mission, I don't know about you, but on my mission, like, there were missionaries who just went out and they would just kill it and baptize all these people, these minorities in the inner cities, and they would just promise them welfare. They would actually say, we'll take care of you. We have food, we have welfare programs, and they would all just jump in. Mm-hmm. And then the missionary would be like, I'm the number one baptizer in the mission.
Yeah.
And the mission president, was all for it. Eventually they had to put a stop to it because too many people were trying to just bleed the church. Mm. But that triggered me because it's like, be real, be honest.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wasn't too triggered by anything. Let's see here. The average ward size, this is interesting. Right now the average ward size is 535 people, which is huge. Okay, if you had 535 people show up to church, it's like a gym. Like, if everyone comes, not everybody can fit.
Yeah,
and so
it's always at more average, like 200,
right,
isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're claiming all that.
So it keeps going up. So like in the year 2000, it was 427 people per ward, and then it jumped
because they've had to close down some wards, didn't they? They're having to consolidate.
That's it. Yeah, they are. They're consolidating.
So they're making it look like the wards are growing, but they're actually shrinking.
Well, the ward size by volume is growing, but the inactivity rate is also growing because you could have 800. Soon you'll have 800 members in a ward, but only 150 are showing up. Does that make sense? But they keep expanding the size of it, like you said, because they're shutting down wards. Mm-hmm. And they're just consolidating, like you pointed out. Mm. Anyways, the deceptive marketing. Now they have a logo that looks kind of like Catholic, like the whole Christus thing. Their new logo. They're rebranding. They made the Jesus Christ really big, and they got rid of the little tiny fine print Latter-day Saint. In fact, there was a marketing expert in one of the groups that said, "You watch within the next 4 or 5 years, they'll just drop Latter-day Saints. It'll just be the Church of Jesus Christ, and they'll just try to act like they're mainstream and that they're just like all the other good churches out there. They're not. They never did any of that bad stuff."
Yeah, which is funny that's what they are focusing on right now. during a worldwide pandemic, they're talking about rebranding, like
Yeah.
the essentials, you know, the important stuff.
Oh my God. So anyway, I hope you guys are well. Trying to think of what Crystal has done to help me recently. You know, Crystal is really good at digging her teeth, sinking her teeth into things that are positive. And so she just knows that about herself. She knows that if she's going to be well, spiritually, mentally, you know, and be whole that way, that she has to invest in knowledge, and she has to invest in the right kinds of information that feed her soul and that fill her up. And then oftentimes she'll pass those things on to me, because I am much more of a hands-on learner. I'm much more of a experiential learner. And so, but it's nice because she's been able to help me a lot with a lot of different things. And she's got me meditating now, which has been great. So we meditate, like some nights. You can tell them about what we've been doing during the week.
Yeah, we've been just turning on some like meditation music at bedtime, and just making it more of a practice, like more than we've ever done before. We've been doing meditation here and there together, but it seems like we're getting more frequent with it, and it just feels really nice. You go to bed peaceful and you turn off all the thoughts, especially trying to get rid of any of the scary thoughts that are going on in our minds, which tend to creep up. It's, you know, inevitable during this time where we hear bits and pieces of the news. Like we said, we don't really watch the news, but of course we got to get bits and pieces of it just to stay up to date. And it can be a little scary, you know, when you hear about the things, you know, people dying and stuff like that. And so that's why I feel like it is essential for me to find a positive spin on what's going on. And I've been finding different messages and videos on YouTube and Gaia TV that just help me see the broader perspective around this. And I feel a lot of peace when I can see that there can be a different way of seeing this, and it doesn't have to be so fearful. So that's what we're trying to do. And so we're just really trying to be deliberate and intentional about the information that we allow in, and that also applies to being surrounded by Mormons and the general conference messages on social media. Like, maybe it's just best for us right now to stay off social media as much as possible, just so that we can keep ourselves feeling that inner peace and not be susceptible to being triggered by the things that people are saying, because it's hard not to.
Right. I like the couple things one of the things you showed me was that this doctor guy was basically demonstrating how many people die from illness on a daily basis. And he was saying that most of the time these are people who have compromised health. They are suffering from, you know, other degenerative type things, and they succumb to diseases, whatever those might be. And same with the elderly. Like every year, every day, so many people in this world. There's a lot of people in this world, and every year, every day, every week, every month, so many people die from all these different diseases. It's not to diminish the seriousness with which we treat this virus, but it does help me realize that it's not going to kill us all. And, you know, and as long as you focus on not getting overly stressed. He talked about how they will actually use stress hormones in order to, they will inject people with stress hormones. I think he said cortisol, in order to shut down the adrenal functions and shut down the immune function, so that when people receive organ transplants, the immune system is suppressed. So they don't even have to give them like strong medications per se that just make them weak. Like, they just give them the hormones that are from stress, just to suppress the immune system. So it's one of the things that I've learned about myself, is that I will get sick. if I allow stress to overcome me, I will get sick. And I've gotten really sick, not lately, but over the years when I've gotten really stressed about certain things, I've gotten really sick. Now we've got people that are worried about their parents, worried about their children who have compromised immune systems, worried about finances, their job, their houses, food. And so all I can tell you is that you have to, one thing you can take from Mormonism that's very beneficial is you get to make up your own story. Make up a story. That's the beauty of it. Make up a story that makes you feel good. Make up a story that gives this meaning for you, and that something that you can digest and you can assimilate, and that makes you okay about all this. Not just doom and gloom and we've ruined the earth and now we're paying the price, or it's the second coming, it's the end of days, it's Armageddon. Make up a different story. That's all those people did. They made up stories that they thought were giving them peace and meaning and purpose. Watch that movie, I'll say it again, The Invention of Lying. What was his name? Gervais? Ricky Gervais. Watch that he just makes up stories and everyone's like, oh, okay. But some of the stories they were making up weren't helpful.
Yeah.
So, again, I just hope that we can control our stress levels, that we can all help each other. I hope that everyone can keep things in proper perspective. I hope you all will. I hope you don't feel left out. I hope you don't feel like, oh my God, the church is going to rescue all these Mormon people. If they do, then I will be the first to give them credit for that. But I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to throw anybody a lifeline. I don't think they're going to pay people's mortgages. I don't think they're going to be feeding all these active members and giving them jobs. I don't think it's coming. I think that they actually just look at that money and they're going to say, no, we're saving that for a really serious crisis. We need to save that.
This one is not serious enough.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Anything else you'd like to add? Can I share my favorite meme?
Yeah.
I take pictures of all these funny memes that I like. Okay. I like this one. This is a grandma calling her grandson. Oh, do a grandma voice. Can you do that?
Yeah. Okay, I gotta read it.
I just said it.
Jimmy, are you gonna come over and watch conference with me?
No, Grandma. I keep telling you, we have to stop that horrible disease from spreading. Also, there's the coronavirus thing going around.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, well, thanks you guys for watching, and stay well, stay positive, and meditate. You'll feel better if you can clear your mind from all those thoughts.
Yeah, and try to get some exercise. Try to spend some time with your family. Don't just stare at Corona stuff all day. Just like it's probably not healthy to read about conference for 2 consecutive days and then 2 weeks thereafter. Mm-hmm. Don't do that. It's that self-inflicted hell. Mm-hmm.
And you can, on Facebook, you can make it so that you can't see certain people's posts. I'm sure many of you know that, but just maybe do that right now. If you have a lot of family members, you don't have to block them or unfriend them, but you can make it so that you don't see what they're posting. So just do that, set your own boundaries, and they don't have to know that you're doing it, and you'll feel better if you don't see what they're posting.
Isn't that right? Just do what's right for you. Mm-hmm. Know yourself and do what's right for you.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
All right. See you later.
Bye-bye. Okay.